Namaste, coders. Welcome to at CodeTrade Academy. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful tools in coding. Loops. Can you imagine having to write the same code over and over again? That's exactly what loops help us avoid. Loops automate repetitive tasks instantly, making our code more efficient and easier to maintain. I'm super excited to share my knowledge with you. And by the end of this video, you'll be looping like a pro. So, let's get started and explore the amazing world of. So, what exactly is a loop? A loop is a way to repeat a set of instructions over and over again. Think of it like a recipe. You have a list of ingredients and steps to follow. If you want to make multiple dishes, you can simply repeat the steps. That's what a loop does in coding. It allows us to write a set of instructions once and then repeat them as many times as we need. There are different types of loops, such as for loops, while loops, and do-while loops. Each type of loop has its own unique. Now that we've covered the basics, let's dive deeper into the world of loops. Imagine you're a chef, and you need to make 100 sandwiches. You wouldn't write a separate instruction for each sandwich, would you? That's where loops come in. You can write a single set of instructions and then use a loop to repeat it 100 times. Loops make our code more efficient, readable, and maintainable. They also help reduce errors and bugs. For example, if you need to update the recipe, you can simply update the. Let's see a real example of how loops can be used in coding. Suppose we want to print the numbers from 1 to 10. We can use a for loop to achieve this. Here's an example code. For let I equals 1, I less than equals 10, I plus plus, console.log, I, closing curly bracket. In this code, we initialize a variable I to 1, and then we use the loop to iterate from 1 to 10. Inside the loop, we print the current value of I. This is just a simple example, but it demonstrates the power of loops in automating repetitive tasks. Now that you've seen a real example, let's dive into some pro tips for using loops. One of the most important things to remember is to use the right type of loop for the job. For example, if you need to iterate over an array, a for loop is usually the best choice. But if you need to repeat a set of instructions until a certain condition is met, a while loop might be a better option. Another tip is to use loop variables wisely. Make sure to initialize and update them correctly to avoid infinite L. And that's it, coders. I hope you now understand the power of loops in automating repetitive tasks. Remember, loops are like superpowers in your code. They make your code more efficient, readable, and maintainable. Don't be afraid to experiment and try out different types of loops. Practice makes perfect, and soon you'll be looping like a pro. Thanks for joining me on this coding journey, and I'll see you in the next video.